Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Simplified Analytics, Unlocking Microsoft 365 Value for Small Businesses. We are delighted to have you all with us today. My name is Luzanne, a Customer Success Manager here at Cardiolog Analytics. Firstly, let's get some logistics out of the way. Please feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation via the Q&A feature, and we will address as many as we can during the QA segment at the end. And we are also recording this webinar and will publish and share it after the event if you want to share this with a colleague. Now, let's dive in. In regards to the agenda for today's webinar, we'll start out with a very short introduction. I'll talk a bit about Cardiolog Analytics and who we are, and then I will demonstrate how to set measurable goals and track SharePoint success, leveraging Cardiolog Analytics to reveal actionable insights into usage, engagement, and content performance. As I've mentioned at the end, if we have time, we will take in some questions, so feel free to send your questions throughout the course of the presentation. So just a quick introduction. Cardiolog Analytics has been providing analytics for 365 for about 20 years now. We started back with SharePoint on-prem and we grew with Microsoft to the cloud. And today we track everything from SharePoint to Teams, Viva Engage, and so on. So just a little bit about our vision as a company. This slide shows our evolution. Our goal is to help customers constantly improve SharePoint based on how it's being used. The four main pillars that we talk to our customers about are monitoring activity, which is tracking the usage within SharePoint and Microsoft 365 platforms with in-depth internet analytics, insights, and usage reports. Our customers realize that understanding usage analytics is often simply not enough. They wanted a way to take action based on the insights gained from monitoring their portal usage. And then enhance, we want to make sure that we're constantly improving SharePoint and Microsoft 365 based on these pillars. The idea is to have actionable metrics, which will allow us to constantly make SharePoint better for our users by increasing corporate productivity and improving portal ROI. And then the final pillar is incentivize. We can turn that data into a game as well. So instead of just the admins owning the data, we can make sure those end users also have access to the data and can see how they can compete with their colleagues, get points and coins, and we conclude by seeing how we can turn that raw data into exciting gamification and leverage that within our organization as well. So, is your SMB truly maximizing its Microsoft 365 and SharePoint investment? With Cardiolog Analytics, small businesses and small business leaders and IT managers can move beyond assumptions and leverage data to drive real business value, even with limited resources. In this webinar, we will show you how to define measurable goals, which is clearly articulate success for your digital workspace, track key performance indicators to monitor essential metrics like user adoption, engagement, and content performance across your Microsoft 365 environment, and gain actionable insights. Pinpoint immediate opportunities to optimize usage and improve team productivity. We'll walk through real examples, intuitive dashboards, and practical tools to help you streamline content strategy, boost user adoption, and confidently demonstrate the ROI of your Microsoft 365 solutions. And in essence, to make smarter, data-driven decisions with more ease. With that, I will hop into a demo environment where I'll show you exactly how Cardiolog Analytics dashboards empower SMBs to define clear goals, easily track key KPIs, and gain actionable insights to truly maximize your SharePoint and Microsoft 365 investment for better productivity. Here you can see a list of the many intuitive dashboards, out-of-the-box dashboards that Cardiolog Analytics provides. These dashboards are designed around key topics vital for SMBs, such as user adoption, search analytics, and navigation. We'll quickly explore a couple of these to show you the powerful yet easy to understand data that you can gain from Cardiolog Analytics. Our first dashboard gives us a high level adoption across your Microsoft 365 environment. This is crucial for SMBs as it quickly shows which platforms your users are leveraging effectively and where you might need to focus attention. Perhaps boosting engagement in Teams, for example, if adoption is lower in that particular area. Our next dashboard focuses specifically on SharePoint. Here on the left, you'll see your SharePoint hierarchy, making it easy to visualize your structure. Cardiolog Analytics can track all your SharePoint environments, whether they entirely online or hybrid or on-premise and online, as demonstrated in my demo. So this means that you can easily map out and understand all your sites from HR to IT, and even drill down to specific pages and documents or announcements. For SMBs, this makes it incredibly straightforward to report on any content you want within SharePoint, right down to the individual item level, ensuring your most important information is being seen and, even more importantly, utilized. Moving on to content, here I want to show you this chart. So you can see your most active and most popular content based on these page view numbers. This is incredibly valuable for SMBs. For instance, if you just launch a new HR site or importantly, maybe updated your IT security policy or whatever the case may be, these reports will immediately show you if your employees are actually accessing and utilizing that critical new information. And once we have this insight, you're empowered to launch targeted campaigns or communications to ensure everyone is aware of that important new policy or that valuable resource on your HR site, directly impacting compliance and productivity. But I can also flip that around. And now I'm showing all the inactive content. So that's the content not being used often or at all, whether it's sites or documents or pages, maybe entire sites people are not accessing. It is because they are old and no longer needed and we can archive them. Or perhaps it's new content that users are maybe simply unaware of. So once you know about that, you are empowered to take action and make the improvements needed, whether it's deleting it or archiving it, notifying everyone about the site, and adding a link from the homepage, or even launching a campaign. So besides these views, you can see also other content here, like when last um, content was viewed or accessed, or how long the content was viewed for. And of course, you can customize all of this. So if you don't care for numbers like likes or page load time, you can remove those columns and other columns of data and add other columns of data instead. So that's the action we can take based on what's most popular and the unused content. We can see even more information here, like everything from who owns the content to the size of the content, and those will also help you to take action. With really large content, for example, the admin can find out who owns this and contact the person who's the owner of the content and maybe tell that owner that they have, for example, 30 days or 60 days to get rid of it or take action to improve it, or I will delete this content. If I go back to the report, at the top here, we can see all of the different content types. So for example, if I want to see just documents for most popular and least popular content instead of all of the content, then I'll select documents, and now the report will only show data about documents. If we have a look here under adoption, I'm showing the active and the inactive users. This is how you know who is not very active. So you can maybe target those who need more training or more support and improve their adoption rates. Below that breakdown, you can see a breakdown by departments, but it is also customizable. It can be any attribute that you'd like, maybe region or country, branch, or even job title. Everything here can be filtered and sliced. If I click on a department such as human resources, it will filter the entire dashboard just for that team or that department. And now I can see exactly the content that they are interacting with, or vice versa. If there's a specific content that someone cares about, I can then click on that content and I will filter the entire dashboard just for that content. And now we can see here that that content is mostly viewed by the purchasing department and users in the technical support team. So it's very easy to slice and dice the data by any attributes that you'd like to leverage. The next dashboard has a focus around search analytics. Is everyone looking for the same document or the same page? If so, let's surface that content so it's easier to find. Here on the left, we can see the top search terms. So in this case, benefits. So if everyone in the company is searching for the term benefits, let's filter the entire dashboard by that one search term. And then you can see benefits has been searched over 1100 times. If I multiply that by over 60 seconds per search, that's a lot of time wasted looking for just one piece of content or one search term. But now that I know about it, I can surface it. Maybe I can add a link from the home page with the employee benefits to save a lot of time currently spent searching for that content and improve overall productivity in the organization and help adoption as well. You may need to also look more in depth into your search schema or queries in order to improve them as well. If you have existing content on benefits, you might need to optimize that content or improve the search schema to assist your users in connecting to it. And if you don't have a lot of helpful content on benefits, in this case, this is a key indicator to start creating content to help your users to get to the information they need. Basically, as technology becomes easier to use, people will come back and they will use it more often. If I continue here and I look at, do we have a high level of failed search? At the top, we can see these successful versus failed searches for each term. And this is something that's actually very concerning. This is a high failed search rate. You can see here that only half of those users actually clicked on the results, and it means even more time is being wasted as well. But once we have the data, we have a way of making improvements. And we try to translate the raw data here. We are translating it into time. You can see we are losing about 96 hours of lost productivity on failed search alone. If we go beyond usage, there's also usability. Here at the bottom right, also the page load time by geography. So just showing you what you can see. For example, when you hover over different areas where you have an office, you can see the average page load time. So is your SharePoint portal loading slow in specific parts of the world, or you can drill down to the same territory or city or branch. If we have a look here at top slow pages, it identifies the pages on your site that take the longest to be displayed to your users. If there's a lot of content loaded by the site owner on a single page, it would cause that page to take many seconds to load, and that could be a reason no one is adopting their content. But once they are aware of that, that's when we are able to take action and make those necessary improvements. Then if we look at navigation, all you have to do here is copy and paste the URL that you are curious about, maybe an important announcement or a blog post, maybe your homepage even, and then you can find out what the previous page is, how people get to that content, or even where they're going as the next step in their journey. Or for a more in-depth journey or funnel, we can build those here very easily. We go to the visitor journey. It will take the most popular route that people are navigating through in SharePoint. So if we see that most users end up here at the blog, maybe add a link to this content whenever they reach the portal homepage, and then you can save on the extra steps that you needed to take to get to that content. By providing a comprehensive view of how SharePoint and Teams and the other Microsoft 365 apps are being used in your organization, Cardiolog Analytics can help you make the data-driven decisions about your adoption strategies, identify areas for improvement, and ultimately increase the usage of and also effectiveness of these platforms. Next, I will hop into Cardiolog Engage. And I will show you two things: how to communicate directly with end users based on the data that I've just shown you, and also how Cardiolog Engage is designed to foster user adoption and engagement with SharePoint and Microsoft Teams, etc., and explore how it can transform your approach to these platforms. Engage also allows you to run automated campaigns, introducing new features or educating users about functionalities. These targeted messages can significantly encourage user adoption. You can send personalized messages to users based on their roles or departments or usage patterns, ensuring relevancy and increasing engagement. Cardiolog Engage also allows you to get first-hand insights into potential adoption barriers and areas for improvement. Let me show you by creating a campaign with you. So I won't use one of the pre-canned campaigns, but we'll skip this and create a campaign from scratch. So if I want to create a message or a notification, I will decide who do I want to target. Do I want to target everyone in the company? Do I want to target a very specific group based on the data? Maybe users who viewed a specific campaign or did not view a specific campaign. Maybe I want to target those inactive users or users who did not click on a search result. So they search for something, but they didn't click on the search result. So clearly there's something that is preventing them from getting to what they are searching for. So I want to target that group of users. Maybe I want to interact with everyone who did not interact with Microsoft Teams. Or maybe I can create my own group, users who belong to SharePoint and a specific department, or maybe users who belong to a specific team in Teams. So once you've chosen your audience, you'll go to the next step, and the next step is choosing a channel that you will use to communicate with those with that group you've just created or that audience you've just selected. Maybe an in-app message right in SharePoint, or even a text message, an email, or maybe I want to send them a message right within Teams. I want to send them the link to that new important policy we spoke about earlier, or a link to the new HR page, the new updated HR page, or benefits. Everyone has been searching for benefits. I want to save a lot of time, so I will send them a link to benefits in the portal. I will create my design, send them a text. Maybe there's a call to action. I want to invite them to training. Maybe I just want to ask them, I see that you didn't select or you didn't click on what you've searched for. Maybe ask them why that is so I can understand better what the problem is with our search schema. And the next step will be, when will that message be sent? Immediately. Maybe I can schedule it to be sent at a specific date or time, or I can trigger it based on the behavior. So when they are scrolling down a specific page or whilst they are performing a search, you know that they are active, they are engaged. So what better time for this pop-up to appear? And then you will launch that campaign, and then that specific message or notification will go to that specific group of users at the time that you have selected. Notifications can remind users about tasks, maybe upcoming training sessions and other events, and this keeps SharePoint and Teams top of mind, encouraging consistent use. In conclusion, Codilog Engage is an instrumental tool in driving user adoption of SharePoint and Microsoft Teams by delivering personalized experiences and proactive engagement. It can transform really the way that your organization interacts with these platforms. So that brings us to the end of the presentation today. I'll quickly, just a reminder to send any questions you have to the QA segment. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let's see if we have any questions. I also wanted to tell you that we can also track platforms such as Engage and OneDrive and Teams. And the licensing for this is a yearly license. It's a yearly subscription based on the number of users that we'll be tracking. And you can use this tool with SharePoint on-prem as well. Within Office 365, we track SharePoint and Viva Engage. I do have one question here that I see: how does deployment work? So what's really neat about this tool is that it is designed for SharePoint, so there is no need for customization. If you want to deploy with our setup wizard, you can get it up and running within an hour and immediately start collecting data. The only question I see today. So from my side, we have a free trial as well as proof of concept for people who want a longer evaluation or to try more environments and features versus the pre-limited trial. You can reach out to us and we can share more information about what is included in each. We are just about out of time, so I'll just go ahead and wrap up our session today. As a reminder, we have recorded this webinar and we'll be sending out a recording for you to share with your colleagues who are unable to attend. You can visit us at intlog.com to book your free demo or trial of any of the solutions you saw here today. And for more information and helpful tips, you can check out our blog at blog.intlog.com. And for more information, you can always contact us at info@intlog.com. A huge thanks to everyone who joined us, and thank you for that one person who sent their question. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Take care.